So I've already loaded the data set over here, as you can see on the right side. So let's build our first page. Uh, let's rename it Market Overview. Okay. So now let's build our KPI cards. Clicking O card. On field, I'm gonna have selling price, and aggregation is going to be average. And let's switch off category label, switch on title, name it average selling price. Okay. Now changing the font, changing size, keeping it in center. Okay. Now let's change the effects. No, let's add visual border, keeping it 20 px, width 5x, switching on shadow. Okay. Now let's build our second card, which is going to be cars listed. So in the field, let's have car name and aggregation as count. So now change the title, total cars listed. Okay. Now let's have our another card. Let's showcase highest selling price over here. So in the field, let's add selling price and aggregation max, and changing the title to highest selling price. Okay. Now let's do one thing. Now let's come down to visualizations. Let's do our first visualization, which is going to be bar chart. Okay. Uh, let's showcase cars by brand over here. So in the x-axis, let's add. Okay. Let's rename it brand name. Okay. Let's do one thing. Okay. So over here we have showcasing it as average. So now let's change the title. Car price by brand. Okay. So now let's do one thing. Switch off values, switch off title of both the axes. So let's just have the car name. Okay. So now let's come to second visualization. Okay. Let's have line chart over here. And over here we can depict price trend. So in the x-axis I can have year, and in the y-axis I can have selling price, which already have. So here we can depict price trend. Price trend. Let's keep the title concise. Car price. And let me change the size of it. Okay. Okay. Now let's change the size of it. Keep it 33. Let's keep it 33. And let's change the font. Okay. Let's align it so it fits our dashboard. Okay. Now let's add another visualization, which is going to be pie chart, which I'm going to add within in the center over here. Okay. So over here, I'm going to show fuel type distribution. So removing the legend, in the legend, I'm going to have fuel. Okay. And in the values, I'm going to have car name. Okay. Now changing the title to fuel type. Okay. So that's it, I guess. Let's remove the detail labels. Okay. Now let's do one thing. Uh, let's add our first slicer. But before that, let's insert a shape. And let's change the effect of it. Let's add a text. They go. Or even we don't need it. I've already got a PNG selected. Let me add that. Yeah. So that's cool. Yeah. So now let me just change the background color a bit. Make it a bit more transparent. Hmm. Okay, now let's add a car. Okay, so now let's add our first slicer. Okay, but before that, let me add images, arrows for page navigation. Okay, so now let's add a slicer. But before that, let me add cross and green tick buttons to show and hide slicer. Okay, so let's resize it. Okay, put it over here. Now it's kind of cool. Or we can do it over here as well. Let's add it over here. So now let's do one thing. Let's add a slicer. So I want the same design of the slicer. So I'm gonna copy it and I'm gonna click on slicer. So in the slicer, we can have fuel type. So removing selling price and have fuel over here. So changing it to tile. Okay, as you can see. So this is the slicer I've already added. And yeah, that's it, I guess. Or should we adjust the slicer somewhere else? We can have it like this as well. Okay, now it's perfect, I guess. And we can have the background color changed as well. Let me experiment with black. Does it look good? I don't know. Looks kind of okay. So that's it, I guess. So I have duplicated the entire slide over here and I'm going to change the values one by one. Okay. So page one is completed. So now we have moved to page two. So let's rename it first. Rename it to car performance analysis. Okay. So first of all, let me, I actually forgot to add the show and hide effect. So let me just add that first. So clicking on the slicer, now going to insert and then modeling and then view. Yeah. So going to selection, going to bookmark. Okay. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to click on the slicer and I'm going to hide it. And now I'm going to add a bookmark, hide. And then I'm going to add another bookmark, which is show. So let me update hide. And now let me update show. Oh, as you can see, whenever I'm gonna click on hide, it's gonna go away. But whenever I'm gonna click on show, it's gonna show. But I have to make this effect using cross button and green button. So now going to cross button and switching on action. Now clicking on bookmark. Now clicking on hide. So now whenever I'm gonna click on control plus cross, it's gonna go away. Okay. So yeah, as you can see, let me just rearrange it. So now whenever I'm gonna click on control plus click, it goes away. Control plus click, it shows. So we can arrange it over here. It shows, it goes. It shows, it goes. So now let me do one thing. Let's duplicate the slide entirely. So now I'll rename it car performance analysis. Okay. Now let me change the all the KPI cards. I'm going to change the value. Okay. So I've just copied it just to keep the layout, the design same. Okay. Now let's build our first KPI card, which is average kilometer driven. So I've added kilometer aggregation as average. Now changing the title, average kilometer driven. Okay. So which is around 66,000. And then let's change the second card, which is going to be oldest car year. So here I'm gonna have year in the fields and changing it aggregation as minimum. So changing the title, oldest car year. Now changing the highest third KPI card, which is through which we're gonna depict newest car year. Now removing the fields and adding year. Now changing it to maximum. Okay. So now let's do one thing. Now let's change the visualizations. Here we're gonna have a scatter plot. Okay. And in the x-axis, we're gonna have kilometer driven. And in the y-axis, we're gonna have selling price. Okay. And in the legend, we're gonna have fuel type. Okay. And the here we are depicting kilometer driven versus selling price. Changing the title, kilometer driven versus selling price. Okay. Now coming to the second visualization, here we're gonna have column chart. So I've already, by default had the previous visualizations just because, it's easier to build the second page this way. You're gonna save time. So on the second chart, I'm gonna have column chart this time. So let's have a stacked column chart. So in the x-axis, I'm gonna have transmission over here, and in the y-axis, I'm gonna have name, car name. So let's rename it car name. Okay. And aggregation as count. It's already here. Okay. So now let's change the title. Cars by transmission type. Okay. So yeah, switching of values, switching of title, switching of values. Okay. So now let's build our third visualization, which is going to be bar chart. a stacked bar chart we have chosen over here. So in the x-axis, I'm gonna have owner, and in the y-axis, I'm gonna have selling price. So stacked bar chart we have chosen. You can use a clustered one as well. Let's go with the stacked only. Okay, so in the y-axis, I have chosen selling price. So let's title is price by owner type. So yeah, let me cross check it again. In the y-axis, I put selling price, and in the x-axis, I put owner. So one owner sold for around 8900 something. You can see we can keep counted as well. Okay, and in the slicer, let's depict, earlier we depicted fuel type, let's depict brand this time. So clicking on name, so which particular brand. So you can see ambassador got manual transmission, one owner, 4,30,000, oldest car 2012, newest car 2012, 50,000 average driven. For Audi you could see 60,000 kilometer driven, transmission automatic, selling price 1 crore something, Audi A4, and so on. Okay, so here also you can see whenever I'm going to click on control plus cross, it goes away. Control plus click, it shows. Okay, now let's do one thing. Let me change this car png. Let's add something else. Okay, this looks cool. Okay, now let's do one thing. Let me change the page navigation, which I have not added. So let's rename it, because I added it everything on the first page. This is market overview, and this is performance analysis. So I made the correction. So let's do one thing. Let's add some navigation. Page navigation. Okay. So now I'm gonna click on, we're going to next page. Now similarly with this, okay, it's simple. So now our multi-page dashboard is completed. Control plus click, it goes away. At the back, control plus click. So you can see. So now let's check the market overview. Diesel average selling price, Mercedes 81500 something, BMW and so on. Fuel type diesel. Okay. price trend over the period. You can see the price declined after 2019. Highest selling price 8 million. Total cars listed 2153. And electric cars, let's see, only one electric cars in this particular data set, and its price is somewhere around 3 lakh or something, 3 lakh 10,000. And then LPG, we can see highest selling price 290, and so on. Click control plus click, coming to the next page. You can see, sorry, I forgot to change the title of this slicer, which is brand. Okay, so if we choose, let me choose a car. If we choose Audi A5 Sportsback, so its transmission is automatic, selling price 47 lakh or something, 2020, newest car, oldest car, average driven 1500 kilometers. So if we choose BMW 3 Series, selling price is 1 crore plus, 75,000 kilometer driven, and so on. Okay, so control plus, we go away, control plus. Okay, so that's it in this tutorial. See you next time.